Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Disco Elysium. So in today's episode, we need to convince Egghead to plug in an aux cable, which is a ridiculous quest, but it's something I'm going to do anyway. We have to get through to him though, and actually see past all the stuff that he does. I looked up how to do it.
We're close.
Because I was having trouble figuring it out.
Hard, full car.
From what I saw, I didn't really read into it. It just said, for the most part, say nothing when you can.
Hard car.
Still say nothing.
Hard car to the mega. Internally coherent.
Still say nothing.
All car. All right. Yeah.
Say nothing.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime, invisible movement of the music in the very real ear of the church.
Hard car. Ah.
Well, that's sending an agonizing roar over the feebleish, obviously not too hardcore beat below. No, but seriously, I'm literally worried it isn't.
The question is, what is the question?
He was normal there. I would have been good, that would have been good if I'd asked you a question, but I didn't. Now it's just idiotic.
But there was a question?
We're close.
He's not as excitable anymore.
True. Hard, full car. Hard car. Hard car to the mega. Internally coherent. All car. All right. Yeah.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the
Hard car. Ah.
So hardcore.
Is it though?
I was thinking that a moment ago.
One mind, one spirit. There's no other world. There's no other life. We're close. True. Hard car. Hard car to internally coherent. All car. All right. Yeah.
He furrows his brow.
Hard car. Ah.
Is it though?
It is.
But is it? I mean, really?
The question is, what is the question?
No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
Interesting. We broke him. He frowns and starts bobbing his head back and forth once more.
Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
Sorry about that. Hopefully I remember to cut that out. That was me sneezing. How do you like it in the church?
Yeah! Back on the case! No disgrace! Bring it down to party place! The first page of the second chapter!
Could it be? Maybe for him, you only have a chapter or two left in you. Last of the penultimate, more like.
You said you were worried. What do you think's wrong with the music?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore.
Sounds pensive for a second.
Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last months, and will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper? It's like it's only ultra.
Not ultra mega.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
If anything, it sounds a bit proto, like it's not fully formed yet. You might be a moribund alcoholic and a failed cop, but you are pretty certain a thing cannot be both proto and hardcore.
It's proto, not hardcore at all.
Wow! Culture cock!
For a moment, you almost think he's going to put his hand down, but that would be ludicrous.
I think you might be right. But how could it become hardcore then? I know it in my heart, but cannot think it in my head. If this is not hardcore, how could anything be?
Try to think if anything could make it harder core.
What? Guys, there's something happening in his head.
Think even harder.
Oh yeah! He's doing it!
But you're not. This is almost certainly a matter that surpasses the limits of reason.
My imagination fails me.
I know! So does mine!
Sounds suspiciously like a question. I thought the question was, what is the question?
No! This is the answer!
I just remembered something. I'm the police.
Uh-huh.
Maybe being police is gonna help us.
Oh!
I can't help with this right now. I need something else, something extra.
Yeah!
Huh. Interesting. Let's try.
You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should land. So does every chordate animal.
Needs more bass.
What?
The young man makes a sudden move like he's about to turn the volume down, but that would be ridiculous. And a melody. Good melody is what makes a song really stick, so that you can't get it out of your head anymore.
Wow! Okay! We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from?
I think you would know.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about Nordic music. I'm just the party boy. I get the people going and say it's hardcore.
He feels ashamed he can't be of more service to the future of dance music.
I'll see if I can come up with something on my own, a citizen investigation.
The young man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain his smile, as if it could hinder your investigation.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Van Eyck's jam.
Yeah, maybe that street hawker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell. That's just an idea.
Anyway, that's all yours to figure out, Copman.
Copman!
Why are there lungs on your belt buckle?
Lungs are for love!
L'amour, la compassion, la autodiscipline.
Love! In a woman's lungs. Lonely as I am, I'm not afraid. This strange, damaged feeling grows on and on, 'cause I've never loved someone like you before.
A dopamine surge accompanies the words. It feels like electricity flowing down your scalp, dissipated into your neck. Feels good, like a spark of life in that moribund sponge you call your body.
I love how horribly depressed and fucked up my brain is that something so innocuous makes him feel good. Are you a thought reader?
No nation, but transnation. No war, but class war.
I mean, you're not a thought reader.
Don't be a lunatic. Of course he isn't. Jermaine here just yells random things. Odds are, sooner or later one of them will come off as thought reading.
Yeah! Revolution imperative!
He does kind of just randomly yell shit, doesn't
Unless
he?
you were thinking Revolution imperative right now. Anyway, I've had a similar thing happen with Eggs yelling. I know what you mean.
I wasn't thinking that.
Hardcore superstar!
Tell me something else, Egghead.
Yeah!
Is your real name Jermaine?
Dark hardcore! Jermaine Egghead!
Basically, yes it is.
Alright. Can you please route Suna's signal through your speakers?
To the mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary! What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5?
3.5, no doubt about it, it's on the ground.
Oh, she uses 3.5. Yeah. The auxiliary lining is 4.5 millimeter. These two don't mix.
Oh no, we're going to be in this church forever.
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here. Hang on, this is a 4.5. We're all good, people!
Whoa, thank God. Adapters noticeably degrade the sound quality.
Great! Someone got through to him. Okay, let's get it all set up.
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the Arno for just a sec. For a special scheduled event. The Arno will be back, but we're doing something else for one moment. Alright, go tell her that Egghead is ready to rave to her tunes. And then I'll turn off the music.
Alright, goodbye, Egghead.
Alright! Here
Comes the night!
Why does art inspire you so much?
It does, yeah, but why? What is art?
Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment.
Pretty much.
In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
Would I fit into the art world now? I mean...
Have you looked in the mirror lately? To be honest, you have the exact features of the modern artist, with the wild hair
kinda.
and those clothes. Perhaps you should try to write poetry someday, and critique architecture.
Is architecture also art?
Of course not. It's autism, box drawing, masturbation with a ruler and a sextant or whatever they use. You should demean and criticize the genteel institution of architecture while extolling the virtues of the pure arts.
What about music? Is that it?
Only the most experimental kind.
That's stupid. Architecture is stupid, music is stupid.
Such vigor. Already you express a sharp, descriptive mind, ready to slash through the empty and superficial in favor of the sublime and the beautiful. Do it. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
Don't have to be 100% cop to get the case finished and all that.
Quit being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive and camp aesthetic now? Strike a bold shape here. Go art or go home.
Can't risk another copo diversion at this point.
Bravo. Continue. Then, the mediocre and vulgar epigones of the world. So what if everything is incomprehensibly shit and you can see it? Take no responsibility. This was a good call. That guy probably thinks forensics is autism too.
Yes, what is it?
Right, I talked to Egghead, he plugged in the cable, you can now unmute your speakers.
Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? Just in case.
Maximum! Maximum is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Glue style? Okay, there literally is no other way. The mixing desk is glued to maximum.
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
I think what Egghead is trying to say is the volume button is stuck on maximum.
Of course it is.
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
Born ready. Ready.
I'm ready if you two are detectives.
The lieutenant nods stoically. Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. The church seems cold and large, somehow.
Okay, ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
No wind outside, No waves, no floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural.
That's weird.
The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It's out there now, in the world, made manifest. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on?
There's alarm in the man's voice as he steps back to scan the surroundings. A slight rattle like crystal cluttering in the cupboards fills the air, joining the chorus.
This fragile world is about to break.
It's getting louder.
His eyes riveting on the strange circle of water. The strange circle of water basins.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
In his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation.
I've never heard anything this hardcore in my life.
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
Subsonic sound.
No, Egg! It's the window!
The glass shards around Dolores Day's vacant heart appear to be vibrating from the sound. It almost looks as if she's alive.
In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside, cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down. No, the roof!
She looks up, a screech fills the air, a scream of wood and nails, and a pillar of the church twists and creaks around you.
Cracks appear on the
Above you.
stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to us! Love!
It's shaking the building's foundation. The floor twists.
That's it. I'm muting it.
Don't panic, it's beautiful.
Beautiful car! Beautiful life!
Me and Egghead get it.
Shit! It doesn't stop. A seal? Have you?
Yes, I've turned it off. Andre, pull the compressor! The place is gonna come down!
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here. It's...
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop.
Interesting.
This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down.
Egghead, it's in the desk. Then it stops, totally and utterly as if there was a sound, only your ears still ringing from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand, a black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore.
You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time. This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
It erased the data.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now.
Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's the start.
Did you hear that?
It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
I promise, officer. We will not play it again.
What was that? I've never heard anything like it.
It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically, I have no idea.
I've never even heard of anything like this.
So it sounds like it was like a subsonic.
Her voice seems
Boom,
muffled
right?
in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
You're going to write Solace 4?
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway.
What happens now? Are you going to...
Stay here. I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Suliswolf. Also devise further measurements.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
That's the best she can manage for Andre. It's quite a lot in truth. For her, at least.
Indeed.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. Or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Yes, and we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez. Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
Some tiny hard thing lets go in your stomach. You're still alive. You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows.
Let's try it.
You don't have to. You already have. A long time ago.
How?
These thoughts formed in you somewhere, in a long-forgotten discussion, behind a kitchen table, in the evening light, drinking coffee and smoking, with a friend.
It's the origin point of the Pale.
What?
The swallow, it's how it starts. It's baby Pale.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
We're 20 minutes from the very edge. 20 meters.
She looks up into the darkness under the nave, then back at you. You have her full, undivided attention. The lieutenant's, too. He takes his glasses off.
The Pale is only an effect, a transition between the world and that.
Then, what is that?
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No.
It's less than nothing. The final rest state for reality. Imagine if all of this never was.
Then the Pale is...
Simply a gradient.
But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here, and the Pale is not.
One day when it's larger, it will be.
I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes. Like a cancer or a mold. Erupting in points inside the world.
This is one of those places.
According to this, how long...
Until it starts swallowing? It's already started, starting with sound.
And information. Causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects, in addition to sound and data?
An intellectual hunger fills her now, casting fear aside.
I also have a question, since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM
knows how to think this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They would have built the church around the phenomenon. The phenomenon didn't form in the church. They built the church here because of the phenomenon.
Of course! A pinewood sarcophagus. Or a containment facility of some kind. Built by the first settlers.
Acting on an instinctual level or religious practices that were forgotten.
I have considered the same. The bad news is, there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement.
Yep.
Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
All the failed businesses in the Doom commercial area, all the failures in Martinez.
You think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even say software development?
Possible.
She already made up her mind when she heard it. Some kind of great and uncaring force had to play a part. It wasn't only them.
Even the revolution was defeated here. I mean, a kind of anthroponetic history.
I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building with amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them.
It's better they don't know.
I told them. But no, normal office buildings are bourgeois.
Bourgeoisie. Yeah. And as to you, Kim, I think I've had this thought before. That's how I know.
An amateur anthropomedic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists.
One day, the whole world will be like that 2mm hole.
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window, cold and moist.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest, some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but...
Ma'am, you will certainly sound mad.
One more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
Club is the only thing keeping this place and the rest of reality together.
I wouldn't go so far as to...
Yeah!
There we go,
Once the
Egghead.
light is on in the universe, it will never go out.
Thank you, Egghead. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have an anthropomedic detection to perform in this district.
Well, that was cool. I do wonder whether these guys have anything to say. I'm already sitting like half an hour.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
Goodbye, officer.
Okay. I don't think they have anything new. So that was certainly interesting. It's also funny because that was the, it was the same conclusion I came to a couple of episodes ago when we first, well, a lot of episodes ago at this point, when we first came across this area where there was literally no sound. It was like the absence of everything. I was like, that sounds a lot like the Pale they were talking about. It seems like maybe I'm just correct. Cleaning out the rooms. Someone's been walking around in your dreams lately, looking for something, tidying up, rearranging, storing away all the unrealized dreams, putting old pains in boxes. The worst nightmares have settled down for a while. A spot of light on the bedroom door after the dark, a fluttering of eyelids in the spring sun. A thought that arises only to disappear again, and yet there's a pattern emerging. Interesting. I'm gonna unlock this and internalize this. Because this seems to, I'm thinking what this does is actually, like, clean out my brain a bit so that I can get a better, like, sense of my memory and things like that. Are there anything here that I need? I mean, these aren't bad. Alright. We also have another level up that I'm going to save. Journal. Find a tape with a melody for Egghead. I have a tape with a melody, right? Because if we go into... Oh, I thought I did anyway. We have this. Doggone Mega Mix. Right. It's not actually a, We'll do that next time. I'll think about it and I'll do it next time, because we're sitting at half an hour. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time, where I'm going to see if I can find a tape so I can just knock off this egghead quest. There's still some other things we can do. We can do this. I looked everywhere and couldn't find anywhere to, like, check for bullet traces in these places, but, yeah, whatever. Wash the dirty jacket. Don't know how to do that, aside wait for nighttime, pretty much. And we can ask around about Ruby in the fishing village as well. Cool. So there's stuff to do, though we do have an actual objective. I keep kind of forgetting about the main objective because I was so interested in this, because it's weird. Like, it's a quest that's very much about the lore of the world, rather than, like, the actual main story of the game, which is solving this murder. But, yeah, outside lore is usually a lot more interesting in these very well-built universes. Anyway, that's gonna be it. I'll see you next time, guys.